what's going on? It's Craig Bennett, aka Cash K, here back for another NBA Prizepicks video. If you haven't checked out my early Prizepicks video this morning, I will link it at the end of this video and you can check it out where I dropped 4 picks. I got 5 here that I like a little bit. I'll talk about each and every one of them, kind of give you some analysis why I like them. Maybe you want to play them, maybe you want to fade them. But I did find, and we're pretty assist heavy in these, but again, we'll look at them real quick. But if you like these videos, hit that like button for me, subscribe to the channel, and let's get after it. All right, as you can see, like always, I have the Prizepicks desktop up. And if you don't have a Prizepicks account, head on over there, use promo code DFSArmy, and get yourself a 100% instant deposit match up to $100. The link is in the description below. All right, like I said, I have 5 picks here. We'll talk about them. We got some early games here. They're starting about 3 hours. That's about 12:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm recording this video. I did an early one as well, but we got 5 here we'll look at, and they're very assist heavy here. So the first one we're going to look at, we're going to actually look at Ayo Dosunmu over 5.5 assists. Now, this is one of those games where going up against Philly, it's a 1.5 point, Philly's favored by 1.5. It's 219.5 over under. Kobe White and Zach LaVine are questionable this game. So if they are out, I love this even more. I like it regardless if they play or not. It's a game that we can definitely look to have. Ayu's been just incredible. If we've looked at, he's hit this 4 out of his last 5. He's looked exceptionally well, gets everyone involved, playing big minutes, 37, 42, 36, 33, 35 over his last 5. And as long as he's going to play those minutes, even though the defense is good against Philly, him and Maxey should go back and forth here and getting their teams involved. So just looking at him, eye test, stats-wise, I'm going right back here at 5.5. It's actually at 6.5 on most books. So here over at Prizepicks that we can get it at 5.5 is just a gift in my opinion. So this is by far one of my favorite plays on the board here. Ayo Dosunmu over 5.5. And again, if we get news that Zach LaVine or Kobe White are out, I love it even more. If they play, it's still a good play. So just want to keep that in mind once we get some news to drop. Second one we're going to go here is we're actually going to stay in assist. And we're going to come down to the Pelican game. And we're going to go Brandon Ingram over 5.5 assists. Again, going up against Houston, which is ranked 25th in the league in assists allowed. It's one of those situations where the matchup is just too good here. The Pelicans are favored by 5, 228.5 over under here. Looking at the injury news in this game, Josh Hart's still questionable. Garrett Temple and Willie Hernangomez are still out for the Pelicans. Kevin Porter is going to play on the other side. He was ruled out in illness, and we had that guy in one of our picks a couple days ago. Might have been yesterday. Days kind of run together, but he was out with an illness. He'll be back, so not a real injury there. But again, Brandon Ingram's went 4 out of his last 5 games here, 7 out of his last 10. He's went over this 5.5 assist mark. Plays a ton of minutes. The juice is real heavy on the over here in a lot of books. Some of the places I see it is around minus 134. So again, he's averaging 35 minutes a game over his last 10. He's played Houston. The one game he played Houston, he played almost 40 minutes that game. So it's again where they're going to use him. It's going to be him and Devontae Graham with the ball in his hands, but Ingram is very ball dominant here, and he gets everyone involved. So I do like the over here going up against Houston, which should be up and down. Third one we're going to go here is, again, we're going to stay in the assist. And we got some news here, if you don't know. James Harden was ruled out, and Nick Claxton was ruled out. And the last time this happened, Brooklyn got their butts kicked. They're playing Denver here. So it's a situation where you're a little worried about it with maybe being a blowout, but they don't tend to blow people out too much. And even in the blowout they had, he got over this game against Utah. Utah's a way better defensive team. But again, we're going to go the over on Kyrie Irving, 5.5 assists. With both Kevin Durant and Harden out, he's only played 2 games this way, and he's went over the number both. 7 assists back against Golden State on January 29th, and then again just a couple days ago against Utah where he had 6 on February 4th. He only played 31 minutes that game. The last one he played 39 minutes against Golden State. I think we're going to see something more towards that. So this number is way too low if you think this game's going to be competitive. If you think it's going to be out, then maybe it's a game you kind of want to stay away from and not bet this. But there's no Paul Millsap. There's no LaMarcus Aldridge as well. But he's going to have to get other guys involved. Patty Mills' shot's going to have to go down, and he'll look for him. He'll look for his shot as well. If we look at those 2 games where they were out, this number's jumped to Denver -8 with a 227.5 over under. But in those games, he's looked for a shot as well. Hit 32 points against Golden State, only 15 against Utah. But the shots were there, 20 and 21. Only shot 30% against Utah, 43% against Golden State. But I just feel like the assist number is way too low. If you wanted to look at some of the other ones, I could understand, or points, rebounds, and assists. But if you think the game is competitive, he's going to smash all these because they are going to need him heavily this game. The next one we're going to look at, the next 2 make me a little bit more nervous. These are my favorite 3 plays here, and this is how I would rank them in order here. Ayo, Brandon, Ingram, Kyrie Irving. But the next one is a little bit more sketchy here. And it is Joel Embiid under, I'm going to go under 57 fantasy points or under 48.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I kind of want to go fantasy points. Looking at this, even with all the guys playing, he just barely got there, right? And he's played Sacramento, Washington, Dallas with Noah Porzingis. He got 62. 57 is a big number. And I'm just going to lead the under with this just because the 2 times he's played Chicago, he's averaged about 34 points a game. And the first game he played Chicago on November 3rd, he only had 34 points, rebounds, and assists. And the other one, he had 49 points, rebounds, and assists. So I just lean the fantasy score. Like I said, if you want to take the under and 48.5 points, rebounds, and assists, I like that as well. But the fantasy score, you get a few turnovers here. We can get the under pretty easily. So especially if we see Zach LaVine and those guys back, it should be it's a 221.5 over under here. And yes, Joel Embiid's been playing unbelievable. That's why it makes me scary because he can hit 60 all day long. I'm just with this matchup. The defense, Chicago's 14th in the league against center defense, 18th in the league, right in the middle of the pack, points allowed. And it's just one of those things, 10th in rebounds allowed. So I just think he's probably has a good game. Maybe he hits like 53, 54, but I'm just going to lean the under here as this number is just pretty big. But again, it makes me a little nervous. So just keep that in mind if you want to tail this or not play it at all. But it's a number that just look a tad too big. And then the other one here, we're going to go back to assists. It's one that, again, makes me a little nervous, but just looking at the numbers, it kind of adds up a little bit. Again, going against Boston, which makes me a little nervous, but Franz Wagner, over 2.5 assists. He's done this in 6 of his last 10 games. Been playing pretty decent minutes here, averaging 33 minutes over his last 10 games. Again, the matchup is bad. Boston's number 1 in the league in assists allowed, and that's the thing. But 2.5 is a pretty small number. I think he could get there for us. Against the Clippers back on January 26th, he put up 9, 5 against Chicago, 3 against the Lakers, and then, of course, these 3 at least 5 games here, Memphis, Chicago, Dallas. So again, it makes me a little nervous to go over, but there's a lot of juice on this over as well, -142. But the matchup, it gives one of those things that makes me a little nervous. So not super high on this play. It wouldn't even shock me if you want to take the under on this just because of the matchup wise. But he tends to get people involved, and that old team with no Bamba, he's going to have to do a little bit more as well, as Mo Bamba is. I'm sorry, Mo Bamba is questionable, my bad. So if Mo Bamba sits, maybe we'll have to do a little bit more, move Wendell Carter Jr. down at the 5, and maybe Franz can play more of the 4. So we'll have to see what's going on. Again, I love the assist props, these top 3, Ayo, Ingram, Irving. A little bit more questionable for me is the Joel Embiid under and the Franz Wagner over, but those are the sums I'm going to mix and match. But if I was only going to play 3, and the ones I'm going to be heaviest on are these top 3 assists, but I wanted to give a couple more that kind of stood out in the research-wise, but made me a little bit nervous pulling the trigger on as these 2. So with that, again, enjoy your Sunday. If you want to play a little NASCAR, head on over to DFSArmy, use that promo code CashK, get yourself 10% for VIP membership. And we have Taco and Brady up there getting ready to hammer out some stuff with the Clash. We have an awesome NASCAR product over there. So again, hope you enjoyed this, and we'll see you on the flip side. Deuces.